What is going on, YouTube and the GGE universe? I'm Josh, and we're back once again for another episode of Talking GGE, Episode 2. Now, much like last week, we are going to jump right into rumors and all that, because Talking GGE is the one-stop place where you can get all the inside information going around GGE, all the rumors, all the inside, the juicy information that you guys won't hear about from GGE themselves, from Twitter, all of that. Now, like last week, we have a couple guests here with us. One guest who is no mystery to the channel. AJ, would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
Welcome, guys. Talking GGE. We have a lot to talk about on this first episode. A lot of controversy on the main roster, the go around, and I'm curious to see what else could possibly potentially happening in terms of trades and rumors as well.
Yeah, that was a very interesting first week of the GG universe. We'll jump into all that here shortly. I think you guys are going to like some of the stuff that we're going to be going over today, and I think some of it might even come to you as a shock. Now, our second guest is a guy who he's never been in any of our videos, and we're very glad to have him. So, Mike, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, how are you guys doing? I'm Wingmaster 19. I'm your NXT commissioner. We have a lot to talk about the controversy on the main roster, as well as what's going on with NXT.
All right. So, with that being said, guys, we are going to jump right into the GGE rumors. Now, if you look on the bottom hand of your screen, you can see the rumors bar and all the rumors that have kind of come to surface here in GGE. So, first rumor is the possibility of the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, leaving SmackDown Live and coming to Raw. I've heard a lot of rumblings on how the Raw staff team is highly pursuing Bray Wyatt. They feel as if they didn't give him the rightful push he deserves when they had him in just the last couple seasons, which I could agree with. He didn't get the spotlight that he probably deserved. SmackDown Live, however, they have been in talks with Raw, and I can confirm that Raw has thrown some offers at SmackDown that they're kind of interested in. Now, whether this trade, gets accepted or not is, beyond me. I wouldn't know. You guys would have to check the GGE Universe Twitter page at GGE_Universe to see the confirmations of these rumors, trades, etc. AJ, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I think this is very interesting. I thought Bray would do more on SmackDown Live, but it makes sense that Raw also sees the potential in Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt offers a lot to both brands in terms of character, so I'm curious to see what brand will get him first, but Raw will have to offer a lot to get Bray Wyatt on their brand.
That is very true, and from what I've heard, Raw has offered some big money for Bray. Mike, what are your thoughts and opinions on this trade?
Well, my thoughts and opinions are almost pretty much exactly like what AJ said. Like, Bray brings all of it to the table. He's the top 8 talent, one of the top 8 talents on SmackDown, but because Raw traded him over to SmackDown because of the potential, and now he's showing how much potential he has. Raw can now fix the mistakes they made before, and push him again to the not to the moon, but push him like where he rightly deserves.
All right. Next rumor on the board is this is kind of interesting here. Is the possibility of Kurt Angle leaving Raw. Now, it's not as if a trade would happen. It's just come to surface that Kurt Angle is apparently maybe unhappy with Raw and maybe unhappy with GGE. It's a possibility that he might be leaving Raw or even GGE in a whole. I haven't heard anything about him going to another brand, so that's not something that's really come to surface yet. Maybe he is. I don't know. But for all I know, is just the rumors is come to surface that he's unhappy with Raw. I don't understand exactly why, because he hasn't really been there that long. I mean, maybe he's thinking about all the history he's had with Raw in the past. Hasn't exactly had the best times, but that means nothing on this season. AJ, what are your thoughts on the possibility of Kurt Angle leaving Raw and maybe even GGE?
You know what I think of this, Josh? I think that Kurt Angle is scared of Brock Lesnar. I think he's scared of what Brock Lesnar will do to him, and that's why he's trying to get out of this situation, because he knows if Brock gets his hands on him, he's going to pretty much murder him in that ring. So I think that's what the reason is why Kurt Angle wants to leave Raw.
That's interesting because we saw this past week on Raw, Kurt Angle was face to face with Brock Lesnar, and it didn't exactly go, I guess, maybe the way he had planned, and maybe he is scared of the Beast Incarnate. There's always that possibility. I mean, come on, Brock's very dominating in that ring, so that's very interesting. Mike, what are your thoughts on that one?
My thoughts is I think that Kurt doesn't see competition with Brock. Because if, like everyone knows, if you get in the ring with Brock, it's Suplex City and F5 GG. But he sees way more competition over on SmackDown, so that's why I think he wants to go to SmackDown over that. And if he can't get on SmackDown, obviously the only choice he has is to leave the company.
Yeah, but you also got to think. This might sound a little far fetched here, but imagine to say the Olympic gold medalist came to NXT. There's a lot of good competition down there, so who knows? Now, on to our next rumor. Speaking of NXT, is the possibility of NXT getting new championship belts. Now, if you watch NXT TakeOver Orlando in real life, which I'm sure everyone who's watching this video currently did, very great pay-per-view, those belts that they had introduced would be much like what we would bring in. Maybe a little difference. We're not sure yet. But it's still all up in the air. Nothing's confirmed that they will be getting new belts or not. We'll be talking more about that in the next couple weeks. Now, final rumor of the day, from what we know at least, is the possibility of 205 Live bringing in a new brand of superstars, new class of superstars. The current general manager of 205 Live, Mick Foley, has expressed a lot of interest for some of these guys to bring in not only just as new talents, but another brand of talents. He basically wants to, I guess you could say, make 205 Live into its own little brand, so to speak. And I wouldn't blame him. If you guys watched 205 Live this past Saturday morning, it was spectacular, dude. A lot of great matches. I don't think there was one match on that card that didn't, draw interest. It was crazy, and I think there's one thing we should talk about here, speaking of 205 Live, is the mystery guy who attacked Kyle O'Reilly after O'Reilly had defeated D. Brian Kendrick. He came out of nowhere. He's dressed in the all-black hoodie, black pants, black boots, and a gas mask. This man came out of nowhere and assaulted Kyle O'Reilly, took him out, choked him out, and from what we saw, we see a neck tattoo. That's basically all we know about this guy. I'm very interested to see exactly who this is and who's trying to pick a fight with a guy like Kyle O'Reilly. O'Reilly is pretty dangerous in that ring, so I'm sure Kyle O'Reilly is gonna be coming after whoever this guy is in the near future. So that's kind of the big mystery right now, I think, at GGE. So there's your rumors for this portion of Talking GGE. Comment in the comment section below your thoughts on these rumors and if you think these rumors are going to be coming true. Now, before we move on with Talking GG, I want you guys to make sure to leave a big thumbs up on this video, comment in the comment section below, once again, your thoughts on these rumors, and of course, share it with any fellow WWE 2K17 Universal Mode fans or just WWE fans in general, because I promise you, if you subscribe here on the GGE network for free, might I add, you won't regret it. Now, let's move on with Talking GGE. What we're going to be doing now is starting off with Power Rankings. That is a new portion of Talking GG coming here to the channel, where we rank the top 5 superstars of the past week. Now, this week on Talking GG, it would be the week of March 29th, 2017, through the day, I should say, of April 1st, 2017. So, without further ado, we're going to start off with GG Power Ranking number 5. So, let's see who ranked in at number 5. And not really a surprise here. The dead man, the Phenom, The Undertaker, ranks in at number 5 here in the Power Rankings. Now, I'm sure he would be higher, but due to the fact that he was unable to capture the WWE World Championship from the Rated R Superstar Edge this past SmackDown, I'm pretty sure that's why he kind of fell down in the rankings. If you see there, it says last week, no answer, because this is our first week of power ranking, so there obviously wasn't a ranking last week. But if there was, he would have gone down in the rankings, because if it was last week, the week of Mania, he would have definitely been probably top 3 in my opinion. So, AJ, what are your thoughts on Undertaker falling in at number 5 in the power rankings?
I think Undertaker probably would have honestly won that match against Edge. I feel that he was unjustifiably screwed over twice in the past week in Universe, being cashed in on by Edge when he didn't see that coming after the brutal match against Cena, and Edge being a complete tool bag and pretty much running away from Taker. I think that if Taker gets his hands on Edge again, it won't be the same.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree. I feel like Taker would have probably defeated Edge if that match would have continued, honestly. Undertaker's pissed off, and when you have a pissed off Undertaker, you got a dangerous Undertaker. Mike, what are your thoughts on Taker falling in at number 5 in the power rankings?
Well, because because Edge is the ultimate opportunist, right? He's the champion. He doesn't have to win by normal means. He can win by count. He can win by DQ. So, in my opinion, what he did was fair. But just like AJ said, though, we all understand Undertaker's probably going to be super pissed off because of that. So whenever Undertaker gets his hands on Edge, Edge is not going to like what he's going to get.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with both of you guys' opinions on that one. So, Undertaker, guys, is number 5 in GG Power Rankings for Week 1. So, without further ado, let's jump into Power Ranking at number 4. So let's see who came in at number 4. Okay, no surprise here. The Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin, came in at number 4 in your GGE Power Rankings. Much like Taker, if it was to be the week of Mania, I feel Baron Corbin would have definitely been a top 3. But due to the fact that he lost his WWE Universal Championship against Roman Reigns, we'll talk about the whole Roman Reigns situation here in just a little bit. But due to the fact that he lost there, he didn't do too much on Raw besides losing the belts, then that basically puts Baron Corbin in at number 4. AJ, give us a quick, give us your quick thoughts on Corbin coming in at number 4.
I think, honestly, Baron Corbin didn't even see this coming. Once the match started, you could tell that he just wasn't there. He wasn't ready he was expecting a match with Ambrose, and he gets someone that's way stronger, like Reigns. He got hit by Superman Punch, hit by Spear. That's it. I think that if Corbin is more focused, he'll have more of a chance. But I honestly think that Reigns is the more superior athlete than Baron Corbin is.
Interesting. All right, Mike, your thoughts on this one?
I feel like that Ric Flair is mostly going to be helping Roman in this feud that he's going to have with Corbin. Mostly because I have that feeling that Flair isn't particularly the biggest fan of Corbin, and he doesn't feel like Corbin deserved that title. So that's why Corbin is number 4 on the power rankings.
I mean, I could see that being the case. Flair not the biggest fan of Corbin, and I mean, some people might not be the biggest fan of Corbin. He obviously doesn't care, but some people say he doesn't deserve the Universal Championship. They say that he stole the opportunity from Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania by winning that Battle Royal. But hey, I mean, he had the belt; it's there to be cashed in on. So I mean, why not take the opportunity? So that being said, guys, it's now time to move on to your GG Power Ranking number 3. And in at number 3, we have the King of Strong Style and your current Intercontinental Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura, as you can see, went higher up in the rankings than he probably would have during the week of Mania. I mean, he had a great week before Mania as well, but I think now, I think he probably went from maybe a low count between 1 and 10 in the rankings to, number 3 here this week, obviously defeating Kurt Angle at WrestleMania to win the belt, and then retaining against Luke Harper on Raw this past week. So Nakamura, I think, really deserves that number 3 spot, and I think the sky's the limit for this guy here. I think he's a future Universal Champion. So AJ, what are your thoughts on Nakamura being number 3?
I think that Shinsuke is turning out to be one of the hands down more dominant IC champions we've seen. Those Kinshasas, when you get hit by them, you're not going to be the same after you get hit by one. We've seen Kurt Angle and Harper both suffered effects of one Kasasha, and then the match is pretty much over once you get hit by one, because it rearranges your jaw pretty much once you get hit by that. So I think Shinsuke is looking to be one of the more dominant champions, but I feel there's one person that could potentially beat Nakamura, and that's Rude. Rude's looking into becoming the IC champion, so maybe Rude could be the one that actually gives Shinsuke a challenge.
All right. So Bobby Roode he's already showed some interest in challenging Nakamura for that belt this past Raw. And Mike, your thoughts on Nakamura coming in at number 3?
Just like AJ said, WrestleMania 9, he had a great match against Angle. On Raw this past week, he had a great match with Harper. But I feel like if Angle were to get his rematch clause against Nakamura, he could potentially defeat Nakamura if he stays on Raw to win that belt. Not to mention, like AJ also said, those Kinshasas are deadly as heck. You get hit by one, yeah, you have the chance to kick out. But a second one, no. The second one, you're done right after. But depending on who you are, you have the potential to kick out of numerous ones. So whoever Nakamura's next opponent is, they better have the power to kick out of more than just one, if not two.
All right. So I like the opinions and thoughts on this one. Now it's time to go on to your final two, and it's just going to be me giving a brief rundown on these two. So without further ado, coming in at GGE Power Ranking at number 2, the rated R superstar Edge. Edge getting at number 2. Shout out to Tony Chimmel there. Edge coming in at Power Ranking number 2. So obviously, no surprise. Stealing Mania. I personally think he stole WrestleMania. By cashing in that Money in the Bank briefcase on Undertaker. Part of the reason why Taker's just straight pissed off. His nickname. It comes true. The ultimate opportunist, and for that reason, that's why he's in at number 2, stealing it from Taker. Not only at Mania, but this past SmackDown. So, maybe not liked by the fans, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to stay alive in this business. So, let's move on to your final power ranking and your overall best superstar for the week. And at power ranking number 1, the big dog, Roman Reigns, your new WWE Universal Champion. Now, Roman Reigns got to this point by basically screwing over everybody he knows. Not only did he pick up a huge victory over Goldberg this past Raw, after just losing at WrestleMania in that Shield Triple Threat, he bounced back, man. He took an L in Mania, and he sure as heck bounced back. Defeats Goldberg, I think, came to a huge shock to some of the fans. It was a shock to me. I didn't think he was going to be able to do it, but he proved to be the big dog in that match. And afterwards, he was backstage, and Ric Flair handed him something under a gold cloth. At the time, we didn't know what it was, but then later on down the show, after Randy Orton punt kicked Dean Ambrose, Ambrose was originally going to get a Universal Championship match against the current champion at the time, Baron Corbin, but Orton made his impactful return by punt kicking Dean Ambrose in the parking lot. And afterwards, Ric Flair had asked him, Ric Flair, the director of operations, had asked Reigns, he says, hey, are you going to use that prize basically how I envision you to? And Roman says, I don't need you or anybody else to help me get to this spot, but yes, I will be using this to my advantage, and I'm going to be using it smart, so just watch next. And then afterwards, he unveils it to be a mystery Money in the Bank briefcase, pissing off everybody because they feel that Roman was just given the opportunity. And hey, they're not wrong. He was legit given the opportunity, and he took out Baron Corbin, and at the end of the night, he was your WWE Universal Champion. He had one heck of a week, probably the best week I've ever seen of any GG superstar having, man. So shout out to Roman Reigns. You are GG Power Rankings number 1. You had a great, phenomenal week. Looking forward to see what happens on Raw, man. There's a lot of controversy going down. We're about to all find out the true intentions of Roman Reigns this Wednesday on Raw. So, now the power rankings are out of the way, we're going to do a quick little overview of this past week. We're gonna first start with Raw. As you all know, the main topic of Raw has been discussed already. Nakamura retains the IC belt. Roman Reigns cashes in his mystery Money in the Bank briefcase on Corbin to become the new Universal Champion. Brock Lesnar. I mean, he tries to take on Chris Jericho, but Jericho goes and hits Lesnar over the back with a steel chair, getting disqualified and runs away. So I think Jericho's in for a fight now with Brock, and there's nothing Jericho's going to be able to do. I'm sorry, Chris, but there's nothing you're going to do. You have an angry beast down your throat now. I mean, it's going to be crazy, dude. Then afterwards, Angle and Lesnar come face to face, and we don't even know what's going to happen there. Lesnar denies the challenge. He says he's not going to fight Kurt Angle. He says he's not going to gain anything by fighting Angle, and that could possibly be part of the reason why Angle might just want to jump ships from Raw to another company, another show. Who knows? And then we have Randy Orton taking out Dean Ambrose. I mean, costing Ambrose his chance. Ambrose, it seems like month after month he gets screwed out of something. It could be a title shot, it could be a match, it could be anything. And it seems like he's always getting screwed out of something, dude. So I think Ambrose, when he's back, he's coming back with a vengeance. He's bringing hell with him. So Raw was absolutely insane. CM Punk, your new Bullet Club leader. I mean, come on now. That's freaking insane. Replacing AJ Styles. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to do it, but CM Punk seems like the right guy to do it. And then if we go over to SmackDown Live, we have another crazy night. Sami Zayn, he gets his big opportunity, winning a Fatal 4-Way match to become the new number one contender for Cesaro's U.S. belt. We learned that he'll apparently face Cesaro, I believe, at Backlash. We're kind of waiting for that to be confirmed still. And then Sting, what we thought was Sting was going to have a good performance, he just straight up loses to Seth Rollins, a one-sided affair for the Architect. Rollins defeats Sting, and afterwards, Broken Matt Hardy comes on to SmackDown Live, making his technical debut and challenging Sting to a delete or destroy match at Backlash. Sting would then accept and says that you're this iconic bastard, Matt Hardy, but guess what? So am I. So I think we're in for one heck of a fight, and it's going to be all about mind games. The bigger topic we've kind of already discussed, but basically Edge and Taker were in for a World Championship match in the main event, in which Edge screwed Taker over once again, just like at Mania, costing Taker the championship, and at the end of the night, Taker is not champion. Edge is the ultimate opportunist, man. It doesn't come any more real than Edge right now. I mean, he says exactly what he's going to do. He says what he is, and it comes true. So I don't know how much more real you're going to get. And then AJ Styles taking out Shawn Michaels after HBK picks up a huge hard-fought win over John Cena. Shawn Michaels then would say that he's coming back for his WWE World Championship, but to no avail, AJ Styles takes out HBK. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen there, and if anything will happen there, who knows. So there's a lot of controversy going down between Raw and SmackDown, and I'm really hyped to see what's going to happen for the next couple shows. And then we have NXT, of course. Not a whole lot went down in terms of controversy, but we saw Apollo Crews defeat Eric Young to earn the NXT Championship shots, and I can confirm it'll be Apollo Crews versus the current champion Ethan Carter III for the NXT Championship in your main event this coming NXT. Now, whether that'll be a Thursday, whether it'll be a Friday, I don't know, because there's also a possibility of SmackDown Live and NXT switching show days, or just SmackDown. We'll see what happens. That's still up in the air right now. And then, of course, Pete Dunne defeats Marty Scurll for the United Kingdom Championship, so Pete Dunne getting himself put on the map. But I also want to talk about NXT. We just recently found out that Drew McIntyre is going to be returning to the brand. And he tweeted William Regal earlier today and said that he wants to talk over plans. He put hashtag NXT Championship. But there's also that possibility. I've also heard some rumors that maybe even Drew McIntyre wants to go after the UK title. Who knows? Point is, Drew McIntyre's here in NXT. So, roster, you better watch out. And also, I don't want to forget Cassius Ohno making his intentions known, coming after that NXT belt and introducing the new commissioner, Paul Heyman. So it seems almost if it's just a friendly friendship between Ohno and Heyman, or if it's an alliance, who knows? We'll find out on NXT, I'm sure. And finally, we have 205 Live. It was basically all Austin Aries and Neville for the show, and Austin Aries would defeat Neville to prove to be that he is the true king of the cruiserweights, defeating Neville in that ladder match to retain the cruiserweight belts. But there's a challenger now for Austin Aries, and his name is John Morrison. Winning in a very exciting Fatal 4-Way match was John Morrison, and he'll challenge Aries for that title and at some point in the future. But there's one guy we've already discussed, but we'll discuss about it real quick again. That mystery guy in the gas mask taking out Kyle O'Reilly. So the only thing we really know about him is that he has a neck tattoo, and that he's apparently not currently under a roster. So very interested to see who that could be. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch this past week's 205 Live here on the GGE network. I'll also probably what I'll probably do is link it either in the description or put it at the end of this video. So a very impactful week here in talking GGE. And now that I've kind of given my portion of what's gone down, I don't mean to take anything away from our guests here. So what I'm going to do is, AJ, I'm going to give you a shot here. What are your thoughts on this past week in GGE and all the craziness that's gone on?
I think that Raw had a lot of interesting aspects in terms of new feuds breeding as well as SmackDown. I'm curious to see where also Triple H and Owens goes as well, since it looks like they have unfinished business. And Triple H looks like that. I feel that with the Authority back in power now, I feel that Reigns is only the start on SmackDown Live. I feel that Triple H is going to abuse his power and do whatever it takes to make the guys that he wants champions. I got a feeling that he'll just pretty much give Rude the IC belt, and he'll make everyone that he wants champion on Raw. And in terms of SmackDown Live, I'm curious to see where this angle goes with AJ Styles and Shawn, and if Shawn is going to try to get redemption, and like where this aligns. This could potentially also be a number one contender match, since Shawn is still entitled to his rematch. With NXT, I'm curious to see what happens with this whole Ono deal, since it kind of seems that maybe Heyman wants him to be in the NXT Championship mix as well. So I'm curious to see what they do with Ono. And on 205 Live, I don't have any clue who this masked man is. My only guess would be maybe Conor McGregor. I have no idea who this mystery guy is. So a lot of interesting storylines developing on each show.
Yeah, I personally think that this is probably the most controversial week we've ever had in GGE. There's just something to be talked about for each and every show. It's pretty great. It's honestly pretty great from what you can get out of going off script or whatever you want to call it. It's a video game, but we're drawing a lot of drama, a lot of emotion out of it, and it's really freaking great, dude. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in this next week of GGE. And last but not least, I want to get a quick rundown of what you think of the week, Mike. Just give us a quick review and what your thoughts are for the next week here in GGE.
So last week was the most hectic week in my opinion. You got Raw was amazing with the controversy with Roman Reigns winning the title. You got Hunter, Triple H obviously as your corrupt owner, kind of general manager of Raw. And like I said, Raw was excellent. SmackDown was just as good, just as excellent. You got the controversial ending of Taker versus Edge. You got that match going to be good. But then obviously AJ versus Shawn. I'm already seeing it. NXT, I'm looking forward to finding out what else we could do for our show. And then 205, just like AJ said, I'm curious of who this new guy is, this guy in the gas mask. AJ says it's Conor McGregor. My guess it's Corey Graves. But I am stoked for next week. So let's do it.
All right. So very good episode here for Talking GGE. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a big thumbs up on this video. Comment in the comment section below your thoughts on this one. And let us know, not only your thoughts, but basically if you have any rumors, that is, bring it to the surface. So guys, once again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. There's going to be probably on your screen right now. There'll be some quick little link videos to past episodes here in GGE, and of course a subscription. Make sure to subscribe to us here on GGE Network. You can watch anytime, anywhere for free. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in this one, and thank you for all your support. Much love to each and every single one of you guys. All right, we'll see you next week for Talking GGE, and guys, that's it. All right, I will see you guys in the next one.